The doorbell camera alert came through at 7:43 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was helping Emma with her math homework at the kitchen table while Daniel practiced piano in the living room. My phone buzzed with the notification, motion detected at front door. I glanced at the screen and saw my father standing on my doorstep. He wasn't supposed to be here. We hadn't spoken in 2 weeks, not since I'd refused to sell him my software company. Keep working on problem 12, I told Emma, standing up. I'll be right back. I opened the door but didn't invite him inside. We need to talk, Dad said. His voice had that edge I recognized from childhood, the one that meant he'd already decided how the conversation would end. It's late, I said. The kids have school tomorrow. This won't take long. He glanced past me into the house. Are they here? Something in his tone made my stomach tighten. What do you want, Dad? He pulled an envelope from his jacket pocket, the same envelope his lawyer had presented 2 weeks ago. The buyout offer for my company, 30% below market value. A family discount, he'd called it. Sign the papers, he said, holding them out. I already told you no. You told me you'd think about it. I thought about it. The answer is no. Dad's jaw tightened. He looked past me again toward the sound of Daniel's piano practice. You're making a mistake, he said quietly. It's my company, my decision. Your company, that you built with my advice, my connections, my initial investment, which I paid back 3 years ago with interest. We'd had this argument before. Dad had given me $50,000 when I first started the business. I'd repaid $75,000 within 18 months. But in his mind he'd never stopped being an investor, never stopped having a claim. I'm not selling to you, I said firmly. Especially not at that price. I have an offer from Tech Venture for 3 times what you're proposing. Dad's face darkened. Tech Venture was his main competitor. Selling to them would be a public humiliation for him. You wouldn't, he said. I'm meeting with them Thursday to finalize terms. That's when his expression changed. The business mask dropped away, and something colder emerged. Sign the papers, he said again, or I'll make them disappear. I blinked. Excuse me, Emma and Daniel. He said my children's names slowly, deliberately. I'll make them disappear. You know I can. For a moment I couldn't process what I was hearing. Then my hand moved to my phone in my pocket, checking that it was there. The doorbell camera was recording. It always recorded. You're threatening my children, I said, keeping my voice steady. I'm explaining consequences, Dad said. You're not thinking clearly. You're letting emotions cloud your business judgment. I'm trying to help you understand what's at stake. What's at stake? I repeated slowly. Emma takes the bus home from school, doesn't she? Gets off at Maple and 3rd around 3:20 p.m. Walks 3 blocks by herself. Daniel has piano lessons on Thursdays at 4 p.m. His teacher's studio is in that strip mall on Henderson. You drop him off and pick him up an hour later. My blood went cold. You're watching them. I'm aware of their schedules, Dad corrected. I'm their grandfather. I'm supposed to know these things. You're threatening to kidnap them. I'm not threatening anything, he said calmly. I'm simply noting that 7 and 9-year-olds are vulnerable. Accidents happen. People disappear. You read about it in the news all the time. He stepped closer. I held my ground. Here's what would happen, he continued, his voice dropping. Let's say Emma doesn't get off the bus one day. She gets confused, stays on too long, ends up across town. By the time anyone realizes she's missing, it's been hours. She's scared, crying, doesn't know where she is. Maybe someone finds her. Maybe they don't. Stop, I said. Or Daniel, Dad continued. Someone approaches him at piano, says there's an emergency, that Mom sent them to pick him up. He's a trusting kid. He'd go with someone who seemed official enough. By the time his piano teacher realizes he's gone, the person could be anywhere. I will call the police right now. And tell them what? Dad asked. That your father came to discuss a business deal. That he mentioned your children in casual conversation. I haven't threatened anyone. I've just observed that young children are vulnerable, and that you should consider their safety when making important business decisions. He held out the papers again. Sign, he said. Sell me the company at my price, or spend every day for the rest of your life wondering if today is the day your children don't come home. I looked at my father, this man who had taught me to ride a bike, who had attended every school play, who had walked me down the aisle at my wedding. He was completely serious. I have resources you can't imagine, he said quietly. I know people who specialize in making problems disappear. I've used them before for business purposes. Using them for this wouldn't be difficult. You're insane. I'm practical, he corrected. I built my company from nothing. I did whatever was necessary to succeed. I thought I'd taught you that, but apparently you need a more direct lesson about how the real world works. He placed the papers on my doorstep. You have until Friday, he said. Sign and send them to my office. Or don't. Your choice. But understand the consequences of your choice. He turned and walked back to his Mercedes. I watched him get in, adjust his rearview mirror and drive away. He was smiling, confident, certain he'd won. I stood on my doorstep for 30 seconds, making sure his car was gone. Then I went inside, locked the door, and went straight to my laptop. The doorbell camera footage uploaded automatically to cloud storage. I logged in and found the video. 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Perfect audio and video quality. Every word clear. I played it back twice, making sure I hadn't imagined it. My father's voice. I'll make them disappear. You know I can. His detailed description of Emma's bus route, Daniel's piano lessons, the specific threats disguised as observations, or spend every day for the rest of your life wondering if today is the day your children don't come home. I saved 3 copies, one on my laptop, one on a USB drive, one uploaded to a separate cloud account. Then I opened my email and began composing. My father was CEO of Dynamic Core Systems, a multinational tech corporation, publicly traded, board of directors, major investors, partners across 3 continents. I'd met most of them at company events over the years. I had their email addresses from the family business directory Dad maintained. I attached the video to 12 separate emails. The first went to Richard Morrison, board chairman. Subject line: CEO threatens grandchildren on recorded surveillance. The second to Patricia Walsh, lead investor and majority shareholder. The third to James Park, chief legal counsel. I continued down the list. Every board member, every major investor, every executive partner who had decision-making authority over my father's position. In each email I wrote the same message, attached as doorbell camera footage from Tuesday, March 12 at 7:43 p.m. The video shows Robert Manning, CEO of Dynamic Core Systems, threatening to kidnap his grandchildren, ages 7 and 9, unless I sell my company to him at below market value. He details their schedules, describes potential kidnapping scenarios, and claims to have resources and people who specialize in making problems disappear. He states he has used them before for business purposes. This represents criminal threats against minors, extortion and potential conspiracy to commit kidnapping. I am filing a police report and restraining order tomorrow morning. I wanted you to be aware of the CEO's conduct and statements before they become public record. The video is unedited and time-stamped. Full copy available upon request. I sent all 12 emails at 8:17 p.m. Then I sent the video to my lawyer, with instructions to file for an emergency restraining order first thing in the morning. Then I sent it to the police department's non-emergency email with a request for a detective to contact me about filing charges. Then I sent it to Tech Ventures CEO with a note. This is why I'm accepting your offer immediately. Please expedite all paperwork. By 8:30 p.m., 16 people had received the video of my father threatening his grandchildren. Emma came into my office. Mom, are you okay? You've been in here a while. I'm fine, sweetie. I closed my laptop, just finishing some work emails. How's the math homework? Finished. Can I have screen time? Sure, 30 minutes. She ran back to the living room. Daniel's piano practice had ended. I could hear them negotiating over which show to watch. My phone started ringing at 8:47 p.m. Richard Morrison. I didn't answer. Patricia Walsh called at 8:52 p.m. I didn't answer. James Park called at 9:03 p.m. Then again at 9:07 p.m. I silenced my phone and put the kids to bed. Normal routine: brush teeth, pick out tomorrow's clothes, read 2 chapters of their current book. Is Grandpa coming this weekend? Daniel asked as I tucked him in. No, I said, not this weekend. Good, he said. He's been weird lately. Weird how? Just asking lots of questions about school and stuff. It felt nosy. My chest tightened. What kind of questions? Like what time I get out, where you park when you pick me up, if I ever go anywhere alone. Daniel yawned. Can we go to the Science Museum Saturday instead? Absolutely, I said. We'll go Saturday. I kissed his forehead and turned out the light. My email inbox was exploding. By 10 p.m. I had responses from all 12 board members. Most were some variation of "call me immediately." Patricia Walsh's was different. Emergency board meeting scheduled for 8 a.m. tomorrow. Robert Manning will be placed on immediate administrative leave pending investigation. Please contact James Park to discuss legal proceedings and victim support resources. Your children's safety is our primary concern. At 10:47 p.m., my father called. I answered on speakerphone, but didn't say anything. "What did you do?" His voice was different now. "Higher." Stressed. "I sent the video to your board of directors," I said calmly. "And your investors, and your legal counsel, and the police." Silence. "You're destroying everything," he said finally. "You threatened to kidnap my children." "I didn't mean that's not what I." "You can't. It's all on video, Dad. Every word. Time-stamped. Crystal clear audio." "Delete it," he said. "Delete it right now. I'll withdraw the offer. You can sell to whoever you want. Just delete the video." "I can't delete what I've already sent to 16 people. This will ruin me." "You threatened Emma and Daniel." "I was trying to make you understand." "You described kidnapping scenarios in detail." "You said you have people who make problems disappear." "You said you've used them before. For business purposes." "I meant business problems." "Tell that to the board tomorrow morning." He was breathing hard now. I could hear it over the phone. "They're calling an emergency meeting," he said. "Patricia already contacted me. They're going to force me out." "Yes. Over a misunderstanding. Over you threatening to kidnap your grandchildren on camera." "I would never actually. That's not what you said in the video." Silence again. Longer this time. "Please," he said finally. His voice cracked. "Please, I'm begging you. Call them back. Tell them you misunderstood. Tell them it was taken out of context." "No, I'm your father. And Emma and Daniel are my children. You threatened them. You lose." I hung up. At 11:30 p.m., James Park emailed again. "Police have requested the video. I've advised them you'll file a formal report tomorrow. Detective Sarah Williams will meet you at 9 a.m. at the station. Restraining order hearing scheduled for 2 p.m. Board has voted to suspend Robert Manning immediately. Full termination proceedings to follow pending investigation." I replied, "Thank you, I'll be there at 9 a.m. I checked on the kids one more time, both sleeping peacefully. I stood in the doorway of each room, watching them breathe. Tomorrow I'd file the police report, testify for the restraining order, meet with Tech Venture to finalize the sale of my company at full market value. Tomorrow my father would attend an emergency board meeting where 12 people would watch him threaten his grandchildren on video. Tomorrow his career would end. But tonight my children were safe in their beds, and that was all that mattered." I went to my office and downloaded one more copy of the video, just in case. The timestamp read, Tuesday, March 12, 7:43 p.m. 7 minutes and 42 seconds that destroyed a CEO. My phone buzzed with one final email. Richard Morrison. Board vote concluded. Robert Manning terminated effective immediately. Security will escort him from building tomorrow at 8 a.m. All access revoked. Please accept our deepest apologies on behalf of Dynamic Core Systems. This is unconscionable. I closed my laptop and went to bed.